What's up, co-reporters? Welcome back to my channel. Listen, I went for that walk I was talking about in my episode recap of part 1 and just never came back. Just kidding. I had like a splitting headache when I came back, so I just laid down. So let's get into this recap, shall we? Cheyenne Floyd is talking to her daughter, Ryder, in the opening scene for the episode. Ryder's playing some sort of a puzzle game. And then she asked Cheyenne if she can do a photo shoot with her siblings so that they can put it into a puzzle, which I thought was such a cute idea, right? But then Cheyenne asked her a really weird question, which is like, when you say all of your siblings, what do you mean? Like, who do you mean? I'm like, what do you mean? What does she mean? The girl's what, like 7 years old or something like that? Like, she's well aware that she's got siblings on both sides of her family, right? She knows that she's got Mila and Maya, and then she's got Ace on your side. If she meant only her and Ace, like only your 2 kids, Cheyenne, she would have just said with my brother, but she said with all of my siblings. So Ryder had to repeat exactly what she had just said. I want to shoot with all of my siblings. So, the girls and Ace as well. Just a little thing there that kind of, it didn't rub me the wrong way. I just found it to be a little odd, but I digress. Now, Ryan Edwards, he's in jail again. Honestly, like I feel like every other time he is mentioned, he's either going into jail or going into rehab. And that was because he had such a volatile few months harassing the hell out of his estranged wife, Mackenzie Standifer. And one thing that did bother me about Maci discussing this was her making a bunch of speeches about how she's going to continue to support him, stand by him, and whatnot, because he's her baby daddy. But I'm like, all right, girl, go ahead and do that all you want, but you can, at the very least, offer some sort of apology to Mackenzie for saying that you don't trust what she's saying about this, that, and the other. Meanwhile, Ryan continually gets arrested for exactly what it is that she's claiming he does, right? But whatever. Now, in Florida, Devon sends Briana a screenshot of their daughter Nova when she was a little baby, and he forgets, quote unquote, because I do think that this is more for storyline purposes, but he forgets to crop the top left part of the image. And in the top left part, it's like a return arrow to return to a gambling app. And so Brianna's really pissed. She thinks that he's relapsed because he just came out of rehab for all this stuff. Like, what is he doing with a gambling app? So she goes to her mom's house and she tells her mom that she wants to talk to Devon's therapist about this gambling app. Oh, what the hell is this girl doing here? I clicked on Briana and Devon. So yeah, she's like, I'm going to talk to the therapist about it. Her mom wants to be in on the conversation. And so they decide that they're going to be talking to this therapist the next day. Now, back in LA, Cheyenne and Zach and Corey meet up with Taylor as well. And then they have this conversation about part 1 of the mega episode, which was that Ace has been calling Zach because Cheyenne called him Zach. My brain, because Ryder calls Zach because her real dad is Corey. Then there was an instance where Ryder called Zach dad and she felt really weird and guilty about it. Ace has been calling Zach dad sometimes. Like, it's a mess there in terms of like parental labels. So they decide to have a little bit of a committee to discuss what to do about it. And honestly, I say it every single time, but I just love this quartet so much. I think they do such an incredible job co-parenting. And I love like the levity that their scenes add and the positivity to such a messy, toxic show. You know what I mean? Everybody else is dealing with hell, right? And then these people are always just like vibing, just positive vibes all the way around. And I love it. So basically, Corey tells them that he's comfortable with Ryder calling Zach dad too. And I'm like, you know what? I just love that he doesn't have a huge ego about it. And he understands the role that Zach plays in Ryder's life when Ryder is with him. And like, that is a dad role. And so he's like, why would I have my feelings hurt? Why would I feel threatened? I know I'm her dad too, but you are as well. And it was just really, really beautiful. Now, back in Florida, again, Briana talks to Devon's therapist about his gambling app. And the therapist, it felt like he was on the go. He like picked it up when he was like walking through the mall or something like that. I got the vibe. So he tells her, you know what, Briana, why don't you confront this with Devon head on? Ask him if he needs any support for kicking this addiction. Ask him if he's relapsed. Ask him all the questions that you want to ask him, and then basically see what happens. I gotta go. This shirt's on sale. Peace out. Now, in Tennessee, Maci goes to court to support Ryan, and she talks to her mom about it after having gone there, and she says that she really wants to make sure that Ryan kicks his habit. Like he had mentioned something about like getting a shot that like would make him really, really ill if he were ever to relapse and start using the drugs again or anything like that. And so she feels like him taking that on and like the risk and everything means that he really, truly is sick and tired of being an addict and he's ready to change his life. And so she seems pretty hopeful about like his future. And listen, for her sake, I hope the hope is worth it. Right? Do I think it's worth it? No, but for her sake, I hope it's true. For Bentley's sake, most importantly. By the way, Maci and her mom are complete and utter twins. Like, if Maci wants to know what she looks like in like 20 years from now, like just take a look at her mom. It's wild. It's really cool to see that. Michigan. We're going to Michigan. Catelynn and Tyler are going to go and wrap up their visit with Carly. It was a really great time that they had, despite her mom being messy that first day, getting drunk and whatnot. And they don't mention her at all. I wonder if they kicked her out or something like that, told her not to come back because of all of the trouble that she caused them. I would have loved to hear some information on that, but maybe that's something we're going to hear about at the reunion. I do want to talk about how Nova really wanted to cheer everyone up, make sure she's like, okay, everyone's crying and that's fine. And I love that Tyler and Kate like let her know, like, yeah, we're crying. And it's cool. It's okay. It's normal. Like, people cry when sad things happen and that's fine. And so Nova understood that. But at the same time, she wanted to make them feel better. And so she was giving all these like little pep talk speeches. She was standing in her power about like, the visit, how Carly's always in their heart and just all this other really beautiful stuff. I do want to ask you guys something because I noticed that Catelynn's dad seems like a nice, unassuming guy. How did he end up with April? And he doesn't seem like maybe he used to be on the drugs with April or something like that. But I'm just curious, does anybody know anything about like his past? Like what's the deal with him? Because I'm sure there's something, right, for him to have ended up with April. But I am rather curious and I feel like I might be behind on that. But in any case, it seems like he's doing very well and has been for a long time. I've never heard any stories from Catelynn about like, anything going wrong with her dad or whatever, the same issues that her mom battles. So I think that that's good. Now, Cory, he has a one-on-one conversation with Ryder about the whole calling Zach dad thing. So they're playing with their dolls. And then he brings up the subject. He's like, hey, like Ryder, I heard that you called Zach dad and you felt really uncomfortable about it. I just want to let you know that I don't mind if you call Zach dad. Like, I don't want you to feel like you're hurting my feelings or anything like that. Like, it is totally okay. Right? So don't feel bad. It's fine. And it was just beautiful. It was just like a nice, simple moment. They didn't make it into a huge thing because let me tell you, we didn't see Leah TED Talk messer this week's episode. But if it were Leah and this were a situation with her, she would be talking at the child, making all kinds of like motivational, like inauthentic speeches and stuff. But like Cory handled it just so naturally and so perfect. So I was really, really happy about that. Let's get into Jade. Lord have mercy, Jade Klein. I tell you guys every single time, it sounds like I hate Jade, but I don't. I just want her to love peace as much as I love peace, like just stop with some of this stuff. So for example, she and her family, and it was not just like, the mom and dad and whatnot, like it was everybody. It was big gulp, little gulp. It was the stepdad. It was cousins. It was everybody there. I don't know what they were going out to celebrate, but like everybody was there. And so in the middle of eating, Jade just starts like henpicking her parents about rehabs and hotels. I'm like, girl, they're eating. Can we have this conversation another time? Like, can they just have a nice, good, normal dinner? They're back from rehab. Let's celebrate that before we start acting like they're going to fail at like their recovery. They're happy to have made it through the rehab program. Let's stop. Let's have some positivity, and then we'll deal with the other stuff when we get there. And she's like just trying to figure out everything at the table about where they're going to go to rehab and this and that. I'm like, this is why like you're always so stressed out, Jade, because you take it upon yourself to parent your parents. Leave them alone. They are grown. If they want to follow the program and stay sober, they will do that. If they want to find a job, they will do that. If they want to move out of the hotel into a house, they will do that. They were adults long before you were even born. Okay. So stop. And it was just so freaking much. And I can't stand, she always does that. And then she'll like freak out about how she's got the murder. Like, girl, you are out there looking for these problems. Stop. And so then there was this moment where she asked her mom, she's like, but isn't it uncomfortable living in a hotel? And then her mom's like, oh, listen, I'm uncomfortable everywhere I go. Okay. And then Jade, of course, as usual, she has a fit. She gets up from the table, walks out with her butt cheeks dangling out from under those shorts, if you could even call them. I think they were practically underwear that she was wearing. And then Big Gulp follows her. And then it's just like all this crying and stuff. I just want, like, girl, you are such a dark cloud. I'm sorry. Like, Jesus. Big Gulp, like, had to comfort her in that moment and everything. And again, like these people are never going to be okay if Jade is constantly trying to like do their job for them, trying to adult for them. Like, girl, if they're going to relapse, they're going to relapse. It's not your problem. It's not your job. Like, you're not responsible. You've got your child. That is the person you're responsible for. Let these other people do their own thing. If they run out of money, they run out of money. That's it. That's it. It's not your problem. You've helped them enough. That's okay. They make their own decisions, just like you make your own decisions. Jeez. Now, let's go back to the Devon and Briana thing again. You see, this is what I mean when I say that I really like the Cheyenne and her family's positivity, because just between the Briana and Devon stuff, the Jade stuff, the Maci and Ryan stuff, like I need some people who are living a good life, please. So Briana confronts Devon about his gambling app, and then he decides to go ahead and delete it from his phone immediately. I'm like, okay, it's that easy. If it was that easy, then why were you doing it in the first place? Like, she seems to like fall for the fact that, oh, it's off from his phone, he won't do it again. Girl, all he has to do is spin the block on the app store, go back, re-download it when you're gone. Like, you can't be this naive. At least I hope you're not this naive. Now, let's finish it up with Catelynn's Carly storyline, okay? So she and her family, they're back after having visited Carly for the first time in 2 years. And then she does this speech about like, all the reasons why she and Tyler decided that it was in Carly's best interest to be raised with a different family. And I completely agree with her. I think it was the best choice that they could have made. And it was a wonderful choice for Carly. It was probably the best gift anyone could have given Carly in life. And you know what? I'm like, Carly, you're a really lucky she's not is she an adoptee? You're a really lucky adoptee, because you have all of this playing out in real time. You see the pain it caused. You see literally everything. And you see how much your family loves you and how things evolved outside of you. There's no wondering or like mystery or anything like that. You see the love and pain that went into them securing a better future for you. And you see the grandparents you could have grown up with. I'm sorry, but Butch and April. That's enough, Kate. Like, you don't need to over-explain. Just show her a little clip. Just a wee bit, not even a minute long. Just show her 30 seconds of Butch and April. She'll be like, all right, I get it. Let's close this clip and let's get some ice cream. Now, in the final scene of the episode, it's not really a talking scene. It's just like a montage before we get to everything else. We see Briana going to the beach with like her kids, and Devon follows along. And I'm like, oh, Lord, she really is that naive. She thinks that him deleting the app one time means that he's no longer going to be gambling. Girl, he's still going to be buying scratch offs. He probably already re-downloaded the app, then deleted it for your beach day. And then after the beach, he, as he's washing the sand out of his ass, he's going to be re-downloading the app. So come on now. Too naive, but whatever. What can you do? Anyway, guys, that does it. A recap of part 2 of the finale episode of Teen Mom 2 for the season. Guys, what did you think? I'm going to be honest with you. It was whack. It was a whack-ass season. It was a whack-ass finale. Part 2 was even worse than part 1, but whatever. That's just my opinion. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Do we really have another season of this? Like, is it in us? Is it in them? Another season? Let me know. And as usual, we'll chat. That's all for now. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.